Israel's top general warns Netanyahu, "You're creating a trap?" Behind closed doors, the IDF Chief of Staff erupts, blasting the PM's plan to fully occupy Gaza. The response? Netanyahu doubles down, and his son calls the general part of a military coup. As hostages remain in danger and Gaza teeters on the edge of full reoccupation, Israel's war cabinet is at war with itself. Behind the closed doors of Israel's war cabinet, tensions erupted at the highest levels of power. As the government pressed forward with its controversial plan to seize total control of the Gaza Strip, a fierce dispute broke out. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stood firm on the bold new course, only to be confronted by Israel Defense Forces Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir, who warned in stark terms that such a move would set a trap for the IDF, endangering both troops and the future of the nation's military strategy. Hebrew media reports said the two men also tussled over a post on X by the Prime Minister's son, Yair Netanyahu, who does not hold a government position. The younger Netanyahu lashed out at Zamir and suggested that he was behind a rebellion and attempted military coup that is fit for a banana republic in Central America in the 70s. Zamir objected to that accusation, saying in the meeting,
"How does that look? Why are you attacking me? Why are you speaking against me in the middle of a war?"
Netanyahu reportedly responded,
"Don't threaten to quit in the media. I can't accept that every time you threaten that if we don't accept your plans, you'll leave. My son is 33, he's a grown man."
Multiple reports have suggested that Zamir has repeatedly clashed with the cabinet in recent days, notably over the government's move to expand the war in Gaza. And sources in the Prime Minister's office have suggested that if he objects to the plan to occupy Gaza, he can resign. The IDF chief also reportedly said during August 5th's deliberations that full occupation would endanger the 50 hostages held by terror groups in Gaza, at least 20 of whom are thought to be alive, and would further exhaust the army. The argument was the latest in a series of disagreements between the cabinet and IDF brass. It reportedly took place during a 3-hour meeting of a limited group of ministers, ahead of a cabinet vote set for Thursday to approve the occupation plan. Netanyahu has reportedly decided to move forward with occupation, a long-standing demand of his far-right coalition partners, as negotiations with Hamas hit an impasse in recent weeks. Zamir told Netanyahu,
"You're going to create a trap in Gaza. Occupation will significantly endanger the lives of the hostages and cause erosion in the army."
Zamir, according to both outlets, is recommending that, rather than fully conquer the Strip, the IDF encircle Gaza City and possibly other population centres, then use those positions to launch attacks. The Walla News site reported that the IDF chief is suggesting a gradual approach. Netanyahu reportedly responded by telling Zamir to prepare plans for the occupation of the Strip to present to the cabinet. Khan reported that when Zamir said he had already presented them, the Prime Minister responded, "Make the improvements and present it." In a likely reference to the pushback from Zamir, Netanyahu's office said in a statement after the meeting, "The IDF is prepared to implement any decision made by the Security Cabinet." The IDF currently holds control over approximately 75% of the Gaza Strip. But under the new plan, the military would be expected to occupy the remaining territory as well, bringing the entire enclave under Israeli control. It is unclear what such a move would mean for the Strip's millions of civilians and for humanitarian groups operating in the enclave. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Israel Katz appears to hit back at Yair Netanyahu, the Miami-based son of Prime Minister Netanyahu, after he accused Zamir of being behind a rebellion and attempted military coup. In the same post on X, Netanyahu appeared to blame Katz for the supposed military coup, noting that the defense minister had selected Zamir to head up the IDF. Katz, now appearing to respond to the Premier's firebrand son, says,
Yes, just as published, I recommended Eyal Zamir for the position of IDF Chief of Staff, and the Prime Minister and the government approved my recommendation. I believe that at the crossroads where the IDF stood, he was the most suitable candidate to build and operate the force against the many security challenges facing us, due to his security perspective, capabilities, and extensive experience.
Noting Zamir's achievements in the 5 months since he stepped into the role, Katz says,
Under his leadership, together with the heroic commanders and soldiers of the IDF, and under the guidance of the political echelon, the IDF is acting with an offensive policy and with strength in Lebanon, Syria, Judea and Samaria, Gaza, and other sectors, and led an astonishing, unprecedented, and victorious attack against Iran. Operation Gideon's Chariots achieved many successes against Hamas in Gaza. Entire areas were captured and cleared of terrorists and terror infrastructure, both above and below ground, which were completely destroyed for the first time.
Addressing the younger Netanyahu's primary complaint against Zamir, that he disagreed with the political leadership over the best approach for Gaza, Katz said,
It is the right and duty of the Chief of Staff to express his position in the appropriate forums, and after decisions are made by the political echelon, the IDF will execute them with determination and professionalism, as it has done so far in all sectors, until the war's objectives are achieved. As the defense minister responsible for the IDF on behalf of the government, I must ensure that these things are carried out, and so it will be.
The younger Netanyahu was reacting to reports that Zamir had clashed with the Premier over the government's incipient plan to fully occupy the Gaza Strip, as it would endanger the remaining hostages and further exhaust the military. Additionally, Yair also branded Qatari Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and his mother Moza bint Nasser the modern-day Hitler and Goebbels, claiming that Doha is the main force behind the unprecedented wave of anti-Semitism around the world, not seen since the 1930s and 1940s.
Every Jew around the world is in grave danger because of the decades-long vilification of Jews in the Jewish state by Qatar, fueled by the billions of dollars they pour into it.
The post on X by Yair Netanyahu, who has a history of controversial social media activity and promoting conspiracy theories, came during another impasse in hostage negotiations that are being co-mediated by Qatar.